Hello everyone and welcome back to Lawford Plays. I am Lawford. I'm here today working on episode 3 of this new series creating in Truffmont. You've seen the baseline, just building it out, getting the basic stuff in order, and now we're going to do some more expansion. I've got power problems in this episode. You can see them all over this map actually right here. So we'll fix that. I'm actually going to pause it to fix that for the moment, and we can see not only that, we also have a ton of different demands, so we're going to be working on those today. So first of all, why do I have power problems? We can see I've got issues here around my my commercial development down here by the waterfront. We can see over in my new subdivision, it's all kind of really red, and then a few miscellaneous places like my water pump, which is a bit of a problem. If we lose power to those things, that's an issue. So nothing has actually changed on the actual infrastructure, but what we can see is that in this electrical view here, electricity view, I'm kind of in the red, and that's just a little bit more consumption than production, just 5 megawatts. So I have some options here. I can put in a wind turbine, which will add 0 to 8 depending on location. And you can see there's different places that are more beneficial for that, up on this hill, for example. But I do have the money. I have 43,000. We've got a 19,000 cost to this coal power plant. I have an existing coal plant, so I'm just going to put another coal plant in right over here near the first one. It's already connected in, being where it is, so I don't need any more lines, and that should solve my electricity problem. Well, once I unpause it. There we have it. So we now have 80 on production and plenty of power. The water situation was a bit of an issue too, because both of the sewage outflow pipe and the the water pump were both not getting enough power. So now that's resolved. So we're all solved with that. It did cost a lot of money, but we have plenty of expansion. So, continuing on with the city itself, we're going along here with some high demand still for residential. I keep putting in more residential, and I've got some areas here ready to go from our last episode. I've also got some possible areas for commercial expansion over here, but we'll go ahead and do the residential just because we do have very high demand for that. So we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, I'm just going to zone all of this, I think. I might switch tools here in a minute to get a better coverage. We'll just see how much this takes that down. People are moving in pretty quick because there is a lot of demand. So we'll let them do that. We are going to see some traffic problems most likely coming in, especially here in this sort of this one area where the highway enters. It's not really a set up for high traffic. It's doing okay right now. We do have this view for traffic, a couple different views. Just as a reminder from previous episodes, I don't have any mods and no DLC, so this is a vanilla installation of the original Cities Skylines, and so we'll see how this goes. Looking at traffic, this is the traffic routes view. We will try to get to transport maybe today. This episode, we'll just see. But for now, this is traffic. You can see this little area is pretty red, but I'll say it still has some room to go. One thing to keep in mind with your industrial section, and that's what's over here. Industrial does put out a lot of trucks, a lot of traffic going out of the city towards this highway. I have left this sort of a single road coming in and going out, but that will change in time. We might get to that depending on how traffic goes. It does seem like it might be an issue pretty quickly. We now have some houses in these spaces. Oh yes, we've got the Boomtown milestone, 2,200 people. We've unlocked transport and a few other things. Busy Town is next. Let's see, at 4,200. The big town milestone is where I'd like to reach today, but we'll see. That is a fair number of people that would unlock Metro and some new things. So we're coming along quite nicely here with this growth. We'll be doing a little bit more in the way of commercial. I have considered, I'm wondering about putting some commercial in here. I don't know. This is kind of more of a neighborhood feel. I think I'll leave it as a neighborhood feel, but I could go either way there. Part of the reason for something like that is that there in a typical build, like in real life, you'll see commercial type development in a lot of different places, a lot of low density commercial along all kinds of roads, even relatively minor roads, but probably not in the neighborhood itself. So we'll leave it out for now. Part of the reason I'd consider putting it in there is also just for convenience, so people can get there pretty easily and not have to drive elsewhere. But I'm looking for a natural feel in this, kind of an organic and natural growth, and that probably wouldn't be really natural enough for my purposes. Now we'll take a look down in here and see where I might want to put a little more commercial. I've got some medium demand. I think we'll put a little bit here. Make this kind of these are kind of a couple different commercial areas. And then let that run. This is building out nicely. Yep, more development going on here and using up that residential demand. I do have the day-night cycle turned on. You may have seen that in the previous videos. So things do change throughout the day. We get some different light, some different views of things. So we can see here the traffic is quite involved. It's all kind of heading into this one area, and that's where we're going to use these traffic route view, so we can actually choose an individual vehicle. In this case, I'm looking at this street. This shows all the traffic on that street, sorted by the type of transport, pedestrians and private vehicles and so on. There is a lot here, as you might expect, because it's the one road going into this industrial zone. So everything from anywhere that needs to go there will come through that road. Much of it is, again, on the highway. What I'll probably do here is I'm thinking I'm going to run a some kind of exit off of this highway and then connect it in. And that's not just for now. I mean, that's for future development, so that we've got some additional traffic flowing, and these people don't have to come down. And you can see all of these arrows where they're all coming down here and then turning right, and then most of them keep going straight, but some of them go up to the northern part here of the industrial area. And if I can route that off sooner, they don't have to come into the middle of this intersection. I will have to rebuild this intersection in time, but that will help even in the future. It just keeps traffic out of that intersection and moves it directly to where I want it to go to. And where people are already going, I should say. There's also a possibility, most people from down here are not going towards that industrial zone. They're going all over the place in this area. But in time, I may want to connect this around and just give a second route. I do like these trees over here. It's dark in the normal view, but and that's a nice little scenic route just for the feel of the city being a natural kind of route that might appear. So demand is still growing. The city's still growing. We're at almost 2,500, a little bit over 2,400. The money is coming in nicely, but we are going to have to do some more development. We do have some future services that we need. So we have not put in a high school. I'm going to pause it for a moment and just go through these. We haven't put in a public library. We do have, in the last episode, police station. We do have fire, but it's not really super effective coverage. We've got sort of this in the middle area, but you can see there's quite a bit of hazard out both north and south, and well, a little bit over here to the east. So that's an issue. Crime is pretty low crime rate, so I'm not going to probably do a lot with that, but I should work a bit on the fire. That's going to cost, let's see, about 12,000. I think I'll go ahead and put a fire station in here, and this is just the firehouse. The true fire station isn't unlocked until a bit later. So let's see, where would I want this here? Probably a little bit in the middle. So that's what I'll do. That should help the hazard. The hazard's not super high, but it's just nice to have a little bit more access in the really high-risk kind of industrial zone. So there's only one small and one large building in these. So I'm going to leave police for now. Over here in education, you can see elementary school has a few issues. High school's got a lot because I have no actual availability for that. So I'm going to go ahead and build that in a moment. But you can see I have 379 elementary aged students or children, and I only have a capacity for 300. So I'm actually going to go ahead and fix this right now. Let's put another elementary. I could put one down here, but I think this is showing a little bit more red. There's a little more here, and this area is going to keep growing. So I want to put this in an accessible place, so that'll be fine over there. And that gives some more access to elementary. Now, we do have the high school situation, and high schools are a little larger, and they're a bit more expensive, 24 versus 10,000, and they have a higher upkeep, so 160 a week with elementary, going up to 560 a week on high school. For high school, I like to put a little area out. It's not like on a main road. Most high schools, well, I guess that's a pretty strong statement, but I was going to say most high schools aren't on a main road, but that's probably not right. There are a lot of different places depending on where you live. I may actually use this little area here, or I may expand it. For now, maybe we'll just go ahead and put it down here. I'm just trying to see how I want to do this, whether it'll cut it off. that will demolish those, and I do not want to do that. I think I'll just put it here. It's sort of nestled into this area. It will increase traffic, but we'll deal with that. So it's nighttime now. It's all operating normally, and we can look at that view. We have plenty of room. High school is quite has a pretty high capacity, so a total of 1,000 for the first building here, and we only have about 500 that need it. I'm going to leave public library for this moment. It does help educate people, and the more educated your residents are, it changes a number of things in your city. So we'll just choose one of these. None of these people are particularly well educated now because we just have had some, education problems. But you can see that will improve over time. The education impacts a number of things. So I can't remember the whole list. As I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, I am coming back to this after 7 or 8 years, so it's changed a little bit. The game has changed some, and my memory has changed some. So feel free in the comments to put things. If you catch something I'm missing, feel free to share that with me or any of the other viewers. This doesn't have any households in it at all. Yeah, these are completely uneducated, and so this will impact the jobs that people have. So this convenience store has just uneducated, and that will move up in time, impacting the businesses that show up. And different businesses require different amounts of education, especially as they upgrade. This has got an upgrade underway, so we'll just sort of hang out here for a minute. There it is. They're doing their thing. Building up. Oh, there it comes down. The scaffolding is down, and there it's done. So it has now a higher number of educated workers in this upgraded building. So they need, they don't need the 8 uneducated anymore. They need 3 uneducated, 7 educated, 2 well-educated. So that's all done through the various types of education we have access to. Elementary, high school, university, public library, all do different parts of that. And we do have more residential demand, so I'm going to start filling this in. I might switch to this other tool. Why not? I'm going to leave these areas open for parks or playgrounds or something I might fill in later. Wow, that's maybe slightly questionable zoning. Don't mind me. I have to do a little more practice. In fact, I'll remove that. Fill these in. So this is residential all around this high school. So Truffmont continues to grow. A lot of residential coming in. We've got the high school in now. We'll take a moment and look at transport here. I don't have the money for a bus depot at the moment, and buses are buses. They do achieve some goal that we have for transit, but I don't think we're at a point where I find them useful yet. This is still a very small town. And we can add, as you can see with buses, you can add bus lines, bus lanes, and dedicate them so that buses have a special right-of-way. They can go on that lane instead, and all these things. I'm going to leave that for another time, but we may need them eventually to help transport people. Right now, you can see the traffic is not bad. This intersection is going to need the most care eventually, but we're not yeah, we're not really there yet. So, in fact, let's go back to the traffic view. Yeah, as you can see, it is nighttime. So in the day-night cycle, we're kind of a little more chill at night here. And you can see most of it's green. There is some traffic over here on that interchange that we don't currently own, have access to. We may buy that eventually. Now, we do have this problem here. This is a dead person waiting for transport at the Birdsong residence. We do not have any death care. So let's go to healthcare. There's a bunch of different things here. Child care, elder care, and there's a cemetery as well. We do have this clinic, so that's good. We do have medical care, but we have no death care. So we'll do that with a cemetery. Cemeteries in Cities Skylines 1 are relatively small. You can see here, I'm going to pause it a moment and we'll figure out where we're going to put this. So I have a tendency, you can see I'm looking over here, I'm considering putting it near this residential again. Just like the schools, you'll often see a cemetery near residential. It's sort of a peaceful place, as you might expect. But I do want it to have some access, so it doesn't have to drive all the way around. I do want it to have some access to some of the main roads so that the vehicles can go a number of different ways. I think what we'll actually do is we'll extend out. We might end up doing both of these, but we'll do this one for now. This end of the residential section. We still have residential, and we're going to connect it in. I'm just looking to see one of these roads. I'm trying to decide. I might go ahead and connect it. I'll connect it in here, maybe. We can always extend it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the freeform road tool because, again, I want a more natural view. And the freeform road tool gives me sort of this freedom to sort of just do what I want to do. I'm going to do a little curve here. We'll do something like that. So, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Trying to go with that very natural, realistic look as much as we can. Again, with kind of a vanilla installation of City Skylines here. Let's see. So I want this. I want to put in Deathcare, and I'm going to put this here in this sort of straight section so that it's fit in there. So it has now access to all of this area, all of these people here, but also a road out to a main road so they can get down to this section where we have our coastline development. So you'll see here we've got this person who's waiting for transport, a dead person waiting for transport. We're on Truffington Street. We've got to connect all the way over. And there's the hearse. I believe that's going... Is that the Fawn residence? No, that's the Birdsong residence. Yeah, there's quite a few hearses actually now rolling out because we did not have this. There it is. There's the one for the Birdsong residence. And so it will go and it will collect this person, and then take that person back to the cemetery for burial. Sometimes I like to do this kind of this free camera, sort of see how people drive through the city, and you can sort of see how everything appears. So there's the new road that we've just connected in, and they'll turn right there. Oh no, they won't. They will not. Well, that's a change of plans. But you can see it's looking good overall. We've got dawn here in the city. It's very surprising. They may be collecting more people, actually. That's yes, that's exactly what they're doing. It's a little surprising. Multiple people into the hearse, but that's what they've decided they'll do. So, yeah, this is the whole, this area is the commercial, one of the main commercial zones. So they're now going back to the cemetery from here. And they're turning how I thought they would a moment ago. So this is all undeveloped because I just put it in, but you can see some pedestrians out here. You can see just a little bit of traffic, and we'll probably develop this out a little bit more with more residential. But this is just a little ride along, so now they've returned to this cemetery here. So that's coming along nicely. We've got that taken care of. We've got growth. We've got money coming in. We're about 2,700. All demand still. We are going to have to deal with the traffic that we keep delaying on. I'm just waiting on that a little bit longer until it gets a little worse. Let's go ahead and do a little more development in here with our freeform road tool. Actually, we'll just do that, and I'm using the guides to try to line it up roughly. There's a small hill there as well. I'm going to use this brush instead. Try that out a bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I'm going to put a little bit more around this this area here. So we have plenty of residential. Now I do have a playground in place. I'm just thinking about what I want to build over here. If I want to put some things around this, I've zoned it all in now. But I do have a couple spots here near this elementary school, and I might put some parks there. We'll see what we can fit in. Ooh, the small park is not small. It is all relative for a city size. Yeah, so we're not going to fit that in there. There's a dog park, and then there's the small playground, which is the same as I've got over here. Yeah, I think I'll leave those for now and let those build up. So I'm going to go ahead and expand our commercial zone in here a little bit. Again, kind of a natural commercial area here in the middle of town. I should also put in pipes, which I did not do for this area, and now I'm going to do that. And connect these two. Again, I'm putting these again under the road because that is how development is done in the United States anyway. The pipes run under the roads. Typically, they don't do that automatically in Cities Skylines 1, but I just try to kind of do that myself manually. So we can see new commercial development arriving. You can see these are upgrading. You can hear them upgrade sometimes. Just a little dinging sound. These are now level 2. And we are getting the education we need to some degree. and so that's all good. That's upgrading. That gives us, yes, wealthier customers, and that gives us more tax revenue, I believe, as well. And you can see all of these in this middle section. See, these, you can actually tell from a distance. You can see these buildings over in this section. They're getting upgraded as they get more educated, but they're not there yet. Some of them are, but you can see here these have, and so they actually, you can see they have different roofs, and they some of them look quite a bit fancier than the original low density. And we've only done low density so far. Still a small city. Technically, by milestone, we're getting close to busy town. But not yet. Not yet. And I have not used all of the policies. I'm just doing things sort of as they seem right for the size of the city. I'm not expanding dramatically outward or planning large areas of the city ahead of time. So it's just simple, natural, organic builds. We may have some challenges with that later, as cities do, as towns do, but we'll keep going through those as we get there. Our budget is looking relatively healthy, about 2,000 a week. We're getting continued growth. That's good. Check our availability real quick. I'm seeing growth coming in. That's all fine. Our power, we have used quite a bit of that power that we built up, but we're still fine on that. I'm just doing a quick check. Low crime rate, that's very good. We do have a little bit of a fire hazard, so I'm going to put another fire station in. This is a firehouse, I should say. It's the smaller of the two. It's going to cost us another 12,000. I'll just put it right here in the middle of this. Well, maybe a little more towards the commercial side. And that will help deal with that. There's a number of unique buildings we can build. I'm not going to touch any of those right now, but they're just right here. They have unlocked and prompted the advisor help. Yeah, metro and train and all these other things require larger populations. We've got buses. I'm not doing those quite yet. I don't feel like we're quite there where we need bus service. So one thing I do want to take a look at is on our road adjustment. So we can see here with the traffic routes tool and the adjusting road selection, we can look and see where a specific road goes. So I'm just taking a look at all this new building should come through correctly. Yes, and this is Walker Street all the way through. That's good. Jones Street is what runs around here. Summit Street, Layton Street, and so and Smith. Oh, Smith is an interesting one. It's running straight across here and all the way down. I'm not sure we'll keep it that way. That's quite a distance. But like I said, I'm trying to make this a natural kind of natural, organic, and sort of what would you say, realistic city building experience. So sometimes the automatic road selection and how it's named is not quite right for that. But some of these I will deal with in time. Yeah, I think I'll leave that as is for the moment. We might do that as we build out that road and build farther over this direction. One thing we can see here is that our trash does have a little bit of a problem. Yeah, it's looking like there's a bit of garbage piled up. That can be a traffic issue. That can be a usage issue, but the landfill usage is not the problem. We're only 29% full. All of our garbage trucks are in use, but so what we'll do is we'll adjust the budget. We do have some extra money. I'm going to increase the budget. The nighttime budget is what I'm doing here to 120%. We'll see if that helps. That will put out more trucks at night. You can see the more vehicles they send out, the more money they have. So we'll just increase that to 120. And we may change that as we go. Once we build more landfills or do other things, we can change that. But that should deal with that because we didn't have a huge gap. There is some crime happening over here. It's a high crime rate, but the police are, well, I guess they're going to go right by. Yeah, they have other things to do. Let's take a look at that real quick. We'll go ahead and put a police station down here as well, right beside this firehouse. So eventually we'll get a police headquarters. And that should help that a bit. It does provide better reach. Yeah, so we've got some good growth. We are getting some pretty high demand for industry or offices here. We're not big enough to reach offices, so we're still doing industry. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to actually fill in, let's see, we'll just fill in the middle of this and see how that takes care of that. Down here, I'm going to put it in a little bit more. A little more commercial, and I'm leaving that gap because I think I'm going to connect another road out. I'm just thinking that would be useful to have another slot there. We'll see. I can always fill it in later. You can see these green arrows. It's a lot of upgrades happening, and that's all done by education, as we talked about earlier. So it looks like that's happening right now. Yep, there it is. It's upgrading. So that's underway. We're getting lots of upgrades. Our leisure view, there's the nice help thing here. We don't have a lot of leisure. You can see most of it's very red. I just have the one park, which is a small playground. So I might be thinking more about that as we expand, because it does need a little bit more. And I should say this little advisor thing will show you basic information about any of this. So as you can see, it talks about the necessity for leisure. Increases value, makes people happier. That's very good. So, and in fact, let's go ahead and take a look at that. So you saw earlier, yeah, small park is not really small for a city of this size, but it does have a pretty big range, which is useful. Yeah, I'm not getting a lot of. Let's see here. Where can I put this? I could put that there. So I have residential in so many different places. I have a lot of options for those. One thing, as I've mentioned before, I do not have any DLC on here. However, just noting the Park Life DLC allows you to build your own custom park spaces, essentially, in any little extra spot, and this actually would be ideal for that. It'd be quite useful to be building right in here, but I do not have that, and we're going without DLC for this build, at least so far. So I'll have to make do with our various built-in options here. I might end up running like a road out here, a little road or something. Let's see, that's a park with trees. These are various sizes and dimensions. Let's see here. These are all growing. So this is partway through the Aspen residence. I'm actually going to just go ahead and let's see here. I'm just trying to see what road options I have. I do not have a lot of road options at this moment, but I'm going to use a dirt road, I think. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut right through these people's house, and I'm going to build a little dirt road out to my my new park that I'm going to put out here. I will change this to the straight road because it will just be a straight shot through. It does make some people a little bit upset, but they will like a new park. I'm gonna have to fit it in here. Here we go. I could put it there. I'm gonna let me build this out a little farther. See how we can get this in. If I do that there, it's going to demolish some houses. We do not want to demolish too many houses. Why don't I go ahead and more like this. There we go. So you can see this is quite a big zone. It's covering all of this. It's changing all those colors already. So they will like that park, although it did mean some sacrifices for some others. Yeah. It also broke up some of the zoning layouts in here, unfortunately. But I'm just going to leave that. Sometimes that happens. Sacrifices must be made for the park. And it does look pretty good. Landscaping allows you to put in some trees and some other things. I'm not do a little bit here, but maybe not a tremendous amount. And this will fill in. I'm just going to fill in a few of these. What are these? Oak trees, I think. To sort of get the park a little more naturally suited in here. Like so. So those will grow nicely and fit in there nicely. And now we have a nice large park for our residents in these areas. All right, so just to recap, we've built out quite a bit more residential, some more commercial. We've put in some more education, expanded our services around fire and death care and police. We're getting this city up to about 4,000 is my goal for this episode. If we can break through that, that would be great, but we'll see. We have unlocked various things. We can do some policy things, but I'm not doing that yet. And we've got all the things for buses. that we're not going to do this episode, but soon, very soon. So at Busy Town, that milestone is 4,200, and with 4,200 we get all kinds of new roads, and that will be very useful for us as we have to deal with some of our traffic things. I'm going to take a quick check on the traffic again. That is getting quite unfortunate. I'm going to also look at the areas. So we've got 4 unlockable things. This is 2,500, and we're going to have to deal with that pretty soon. And I'll show you why in a moment. 3,000, 4,700, and 5,300. Wow. So we'll probably need to do this one soon on the right. It's the cheapest. And why is that? Because if we look at, we can see it a little bit zoomed out farther, but especially here, our water drain pipe is putting out a lot of sewage. It's doing quite a bit, and as we grow, that's a bigger issue. So far, it has not quite reached our water pumping station, but once it does, things will get ugly, and people do not like pumping sewage back into their water, understandably. So we're going to have to deal with that in a couple ways. We do not have the population for a water treatment plant, unfortunately. That's a bit of an issue. It's 14,000, which is a long ways to go. But what we will do is we will just move this outflow, that drain, and we will move it farther away for now. Now we do have some issues here. We don't have enough educated workers, so that's a bit of a problem. And we can see just quickly, we're doing okay on high school. Elementary's fine. We could probably do with the public library. We don't have a university yet. And that requires 6,500 people, and we're not there yet. So we'll come back to that if that continues to be an issue. This seems a little more pressing because we are very close to pulling that in to our main water line. So I'm going to come back here, and this is a 2,500 purchase here, and it's mostly, yes, water is of course contained there. We have some trees. We'll just go ahead and buy it. The main attraction of this is that we can move the sewage drain. You can see that's very close. We can move the sewage drain way over here. Now, alternatively, we could put the water pump over here. But I think I'm going to do it this way, and hopefully that will not be a mistake. As always, we need pipes. I was going to do electricity there, but we got to do pipes. So I'm going to hook that up there. It's quite a distance. And power. And I'm going to put that right here. Now, the reason I'm connecting everything on this side, and I may have to move that eventually, is because I am going to get rid of that outflow so it does not keep operating. I can actually turn it off. I'll leave it off for the moment, but I may end up demolishing that completely because we are so very close to putting that sewage back right into our water system, and we don't want to do that. So we'll make sure, yes, this is operating. It's already producing sewage. You can see right there. It's unfortunate, but yeah, there it is. That's how it is. Hopefully we've caught this soon enough, or else we'll be in trouble. Now this is not going to go away immediately, but I believe it will go away in time, and if not, we can still put in like a water treatment plant. So that's our backup plan. We do have a problem for our pharmacy. Some of these upgraded low-density commercial buildings, we do have some issues. And we do need more education. So I cannot do a university yet. Nowhere close. but we can put in some public library access. And what I think I'm going to do, actually, is go ahead and, yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and put a road down here. I'm just choosing my 2-lane road. Again, I'm using parking spaces here. This is a 2-lane road with parking spaces. It's low traffic, but what it does is it gives that nice natural look, and kind of a realistic look to how sort of this quieter back street will be. Now, in time, we can upgrade these to make them bigger roads and so on, and we'll see about doing that. I'm actually going to remove this and just curve it a little bit more. And I'm using again the freeform road tool to do this. And then we'll see about putting in our library here. Oh, the one, yeah, this is a bit of a disadvantage. Putting the library down here is quite a ways away from residential. And for that reason, I think I'll change that plan a little bit. Yeah, that is quite unfortunate. And for that reason, I think I'm still going to leave this road because I'm going to still use that. But I think I'm actually going to put this library right here instead, which does mean some people lose their home. They'll have to move somewhere else. But this public library will now be on Willow Street, which runs along here. It's kind of a main street, but not the main street, which is Truffington Street, running through the middle of town. You can see Truffington runs all the way through, and it is actually the highway as well. So there it is. We've got Truffmont at 3,500. We are losing a little bit because we just demolished some homes, but we have not created any more room for people, and I'm going to have to do that right now. Now, you can see this is where that pipe is, and it's turned off, that sewage pipe. Because we acquired all of this land, now I have a lot more land to build in this direction, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to expand this out. I'm again going to use this freeform tool. It is sometimes easier to do this during the daytime, when it's not impossible to see things, but we're just going along here. I'm gonna follow this along the coast, and it goes up into the hills a little bit. We're gonna stop it short of actually encountering that sewer output. Now you'll notice we did lose this building. It's abandoned. We could not get enough workers. And this is probably going to be pretty close to that. Yep, it's gone too. We'll clear those out in a minute. I'm going to let the public library do its job and help contribute to the education. We don't have a lot of users of the public library, but yes, our high school is working pretty well. Elementary's got plenty of room with the 2 elementary schools. University would be nice to build. We can't build it yet. We don't have the population, so we're just a little bit ahead of ourselves on some of these. Some of these buildings have grown up, and especially these really small. You'll see this one sort of medium sized, but especially this small sized commercial building, kind of just doesn't get enough people for itself to work. This one's okay, so we're okay for now. We just need a little bit more. So we'll keep getting there. You can see this is Smith Street, which is the same road as goes all the way from this tiny little cul-de-sac almost, all the way through here. I am going to change that, but I want to do a little more work on this. Oh, and the reason I'm not demolishing those two buildings right now is because they will just get rebuilt with something very similar. They'll probably upgrade the same way, and then they'll have the same problem. And we don't want them to keep re-abandoning. So we'll leave it for now, and then come back to it as we get more people educated. We have the high school functioning. That's a cemetery. It's not related education. I'm just clicking things here. Elementary over there. So in the nighttime, you can see traffic continues, emergencies go on. It is a very living city, even at 3,500 population. Things are growing and running nicely. Our traffic is still quite low, quite light. You can see throughout here are all the roads I was talking about where people can park along the side. I've used that intentionally here. It gives a nice neighborhood feel, kind of a casual kind of street parking feel here. So we have growth and some things here. These people are sick, unfortunately. It does happen. There's a fire. Things are always happening. But the fire trucks have arrived. The ambulance, well, that ambulance is going off that way. They're not coming to this house. We'll take a quick look at our healthcare, just to check. Yeah, we could do a little better. We have plenty of healthcare availability, but our average health is a little bit low. Which, you know, we might be able to help with some of these other things. We don't currently have enough money for the elder care or the child health center, but we're doing okay. You can see there's a little bit of issue back here, and so we might need to build some things out here. Yeah, possibly could do a medical clinic. But I'd like to do a little bit more variety. Yeah, that would be nice, but I'm not. I'm almost there for the child health center. We're quite close. Yeah, so we're. Let's see where we are. Oh, we just crossed the 18,000 threshold, so we can go ahead and put that in. We'll go ahead and put that that child health center. There it is. And that will help a little bit, I think. We have a pretty big problem trying to get enough residential in here. We have a lot of demand, so we're going to keep building that. Oh, we're out of money. That's right. Yeah, we just spent that all on child development. Well, in that case, yeah, we'll leave that for the moment. This is shut down, so it doesn't cost us anything. Let's check the pollution real quick. Ooh, it's still spreading a little bit. That is unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Well, we'll deal with that. We may end up dealing with that in the next episode. So you can see here is Truffmont. It's coming together quite nicely. It is not a master plan community. You can see there's a lot of unexpected spaces. I'm really trying to make it a natural, realistic design. You can see we've got dawn and we've got a lot of sewage and a lot of pollution, but that's where we are at this size. But there's a lot of hope here. I think we've got a lot of opportunities. We've got this new park area that I put in. We've got some new services. We're upgrading nicely. We're getting things, you know, looking pretty good here. I'm quite happy with this area. It's a very peaceful residential community. So I think we'll call it good for now for this episode. We have expanded these services. We've built out whole new areas. We've got this sort of lonely road out here, and a very lonely driver out here, and I think we'll leave it there for today. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll build out all of the residential in this area, and maybe, just maybe, we'll start on our bus lines. So thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.